The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John.
Glory to you, Lord.
When Judas had left them, Jesus said, "Now is the Son of Man glorified, and God is glorified in him. If God is glorified in him, God will also glorify him in himself. And God will glorify him at once. My children, I will be with you only a little while longer. I give you a new commandment. Love one another. As I have loved you, so you also should love one another. This is how all will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
So this is the fifth Sunday of Easter. So we're still in the Easter season, and for those of us who pray Liturgy of the Hours, every morning, the morning antiphon during the Easter season is, "The Lord is risen, Alleluia." And it's something that for me is a good reminder because, in our culture, it seems like everybody wants us, as soon as Easter's over, they want us to move on. And actually, I used to live in a place that had a covenant-controlled community. I still do, but it's a different community. And we actually got a letter one time that said, you have to take your "He is risen" flag down because you have to take it down 7 days after the holiday's over. And I had to inform them that no, the season continues until Pentecost. And it really aggravated me. But he is risen, Alleluia. The fact that he is risen changes everything for us. And as we hear in the gospel, to really understand what's going on in the gospel, we need to look at where this is in the context of the gospel. So it starts, our gospel reading today says, when Judas had left them. And so right before that, Jesus has washed the feet of his disciples. And then he says, one of you will betray me. And then he says, it's the one to whom I hand the morsel after I have dipped it. And then it says, after he took the morsel, Satan entered Judas. And then Jesus says to him, what you are going to do, do quickly. And then he leaves. And then Jesus gives us what he says is a new commandment. And if I look at some of the church fathers and what they say, so St. Augustine talks about this, and he says, is this really a new commandment? So Jesus says, love one another. And if we go back to Leviticus, it says, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. So what's new about the commandment that Jesus is giving us? He says, love one another as I have loved you, so you also should love one another. So that what he's telling us is the way we love each other has to be different. And just like I started, the Lord is risen, Alleluia. Jesus loves us in a way that we can't love each other. We can't love the way Jesus loves. Jesus loves us from the cross. He loves us. If we change that, we look back to Leviticus, it says, love your neighbor as yourself. The Lord loves us even better than we can love ourselves. He knows us better than we know ourselves. He knows what we need. St. Augustine goes on and he says, let each of us so love the other as that by this working of love, we make each other the habitations of God. So before Judas went off and betrayed Jesus, Satan entered into him. What we're called to do is love each other in a way that allows the Lord to take up his habitation in each one of us. That's the way we can love the way Jesus loved us. And it's really the only way, to allow Christ to enter into us, enter into our heads, enter into our hearts, enter into our souls. That's how we love the way Christ loved. If we look at the first reading from Acts, one of the things, as I was reading it, the word they is in there 8 times. They returned to Lystra. They strengthened the spirits of the disciples. They appointed elders. They traveled. They sailed. But at the very end, it says, they had been commended to the grace of God for the work they had now accomplished, and they reported what God had done with them. So this was the end of Paul's first mission, first trip, and he's reporting that the Lord did all these things through them. They proclaimed the good news, made a considerable number of disciples, but they only made those disciples because the Lord was working through them. Just like he's asking to work through each one of us. He's asking us to love as he loved. He's asking us to see the person in front of us the way he did. To be willing to give a gift of ourselves so that the Lord may make their home in that person in front of you. Another way to even look at it is to look at the person in front of you and see Christ in them right now. And I think sometimes it's the hardest to do with those who are closest to us, because we get so used to the annoying habits or we just don't see the person. We see what they say or what they do, and we don't always see who they are as beloved children of God. And then we hear in the book of Revelation, and Father started, he talked about, what was a blessing you really had this past week. And really think about where the Lord was present in your life. And we hear from the book of Revelation, behold, I make all things new. I make all things new. Today, you're going to come up here and you're going to receive the Eucharist. You're going to receive the body, blood, soul, and divinity of Christ. He's going to enter into your body. Let him enter into your heart. Let him enter into your soul. Let him make you new. Let him make you a new creation so that you can live the life that the Lord has planned for you. Take the Lord in, and then take him out the door. Share him with those you meet. Love one another as the Lord has loved us.